Hello, I am Leo Wilson, and my app for CSE335 is Kylpy. So my idea is simple. Let's say you're walking around campus and you don't know where the nearest bathroom is, or you are walking around late at night and you don't know what bathrooms are open, or you just want to see what bathrooms are highly rated. That's where my app comes in. I have followed in the venerable tradition of American technologists stealing names from the Finns. Kilpie comes from the Finnish word for bathroom, and the use case is pretty simple. You have a user interacting through different layers with a database. The user can perform some different actions. They can view a map of all the bathrooms with each bathroom as an individual pin, or they can view a full list of the bathrooms. Both of those query the database using a JSON API. The user can also view more information for a particular bathroom, or as part of that page, they can post their own rating 1 to 5 stars. And both of those also connect with the database. Now, as far as MVVM architecture, the we have our model, the actual bathroom data, and then that's passed through this view model here, which is JSON Web VM for this project. That contains the you dictionary of bathrooms associated with a string for their ID, but that also contains a bunch of other methods, refreshing the database using the JSON API, posting a review, unposting a review of the bathrooms, and then all of that information is passed through to the different views. So content view is the home page. That's the just list all the bathrooms in a table, and that's where the observed observed object WebVM is instantiated, and then that's passed through to the other views. We have map view. That's where all the bathrooms are on a map as their own uh, pins, and then item view, that's where you're posting the ratings, viewing the ratings, etc. That's the information for a particular bathroom on campus. Capabilities, you can just like we saw before, you can view a list of the bathrooms, you can view a map showing all of the different bathrooms with their locations. You can also get more information, and so that shows you a map zoomed in a little bit with the pin for that particular bathroom that you're looking at. It also shows you the rating, both the number of stars, 1 to 5 on average, as well as importantly, how many people have reviewed it. The It also shows you the hours and some other kind of relevant information there. I included specifically if you need an ASU ID to get in. There's one particular bathroom on campus that I use pretty often that you have to scan your ID even during the day to get in. So that kind of information is there. That's where you can also post your own rating 1 to 5 stars. Now, there are definitely some limitations. The first thing, there isn't meaningful user generated content outside of those 1 to 5 star ratings. This wasn't how I originally planned things. Originally, I planned on having, full text reviews. People could say, oh, a particular bathroom was clean, oh, a particular bathroom was out of soap on a particular day. And I ended up abandoning that feature partially for time and partially because in practice, having to moderate user generated content would place a lot of additional overhead actually running the app in practice. The other major thing, the server and database. So I implemented that myself. That was outside of the requirements for the project, but it was necessary in order to pull off my particular idea. The code, the stack on that is not great. The database is implemented pretty poorly. It's kind of an ad hoc band-aid solution in order to get something up and running that worked so that I could really focus on the main part of the project, which is the front end, the app itself. It's not production ready. If I were to publish this, I would definitely have to put a lot of extra work. Right now, it's running on like a €3 a month Hetzner server, and the uh, the code you can. I linked the GitLab in the comments in the in one of the files on the app, so you can see for yourself if you're curious. But it is subpar. It's definitely a hack. But again, that was a conscious decision in order to prioritize the front end, which is the more meaningful part of this project. Another major limitation: no filter or search options. I'm a little bit disappointed that I wasn't able to implement that, and ultimately that just came down to time. Um, Lessons learned: if I had simplified the requirements from the beginning, especially with respect to user generated content and some of the filter and search features, if I had gone in knowing that I wasn't going to implement that, that would have saved me quite a bit of hassle on that front. I would have been able to uh, prioritize my time a little bit better. I might have been able, by paring down the requirements from the beginning, to actually get one or two of those extra features implemented. Maybe I wouldn't have gotten the user generated content and the search options, but I could have implemented a basic filtering system, something simple like that. More planning overall would have been really helpful from the beginning, especially on the database. The database side of things and how the API worked was very, very ad hoc, very spontaneous. And if I had planned that a little bit better from the beginning, I would have saved a lot of hassle and a lot of rewriting those parts of the code. The the other thing that I learned is that even though I did implement the server and the database pretty quickly, that was time consuming on a project where that wasn't a part of the actual requirements. And in the future, I would definitely stick more to the core of what's actually being tested for the course. I wouldn't have gone off and, designed a database because it seemed like the thing to do at the time. That being said, as far as suggestions for this project going forward, I do think that opening up the requirements a little bit more, allowing for some more diversity as far as features, would have been nice. The reason I ended up deciding to do a database was because this was the only idea I could readily come up with that included both a map and a JSON API that was feasible given the time allowance. And even though I think that probably speaks to my creativity more than the project requirements, I do think that simplifying those requirements a little bit would have been probably, it would have opened me up to do some of the better ideas that I had in the beginning. Other than that, though, I think this was a very fun project. I will certainly remember Kylpy fondly. Thank you for listening.